Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about circular double linked list and also I want to discuss how to implement the circular double linked list. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me discuss what is a circular double linked list. Circular double linked list is a collection of nodes where each node will have the address of the previous node, data and address of the next node. Look at here, we have collection of 3 nodes. They are in the address location such as 100, 200, 300 respectively. And if you look at each node, we have the address of the previous node, data and address of the next node. If it is only double linked list, then address of the previous node in the first node will have the null and address of the next node at the last node will be null. But as it is a circular double linked list, the last node should be connected to the first node and first node should be connected to the last node. So that's why in the address of the previous node at the first node is having the address of the last node and address of the next node in the last node is having the address of first node. So that is why it is circular double linked list. And to identify which is the first node and which is the last node, we have 2 pointers called head and tail, which is pointing to the first node and last node respectively. So it will have the address of first node and tail will have the address of the last node. So this is about circular double linked list. The advantage is that we can move to the forward direction and we can move the backward direction also. Now let me define a node of circular double linked list. If you want to define a node, as it is having 2 different data types, one is a pointer and another one is data. So we need a structure. Okay. So how we will define a structure is we have to write strut keyword and name of the structure. Here I am writing it as node and then I have to write the structure members. What are the members? The members will be, one is that it will have the address of previous node. So let me write it as prev, which is a pointer. Okay. Then another one is data, which is an integer. So let me write it as int data. And another one is address of next node. Okay. So strut node next. This is the way we will define a structure. Okay. Now look at here. We have 2 pointers, one is the previous and another one is next. Now, what is the meaning of this one? What is the use of a pointer? The use of a pointer is to store the address of another variable. If it is an integer pointer, it stores the address of an integer variable. If it is a float pointer, it is useful to store the address of a float variable. Now, these pointers, previous and next, is storing the address of a node. Suppose look at here. Address of the next node here is having the address of a node. What type of node it is? A strut node. So this pointer data type also should be a strut node so that it can store an address of a node. So that's why we have defined given the data type as strut node and name of the pointer as previous. Okay. Once we define the structure, memory will not be allocated unless until we declare the variables. So let me declare 2 structure variables which are pointers. One is head and tail. Okay. So I will write strut node okay. Then I can initialize head and tail is equal to null. Now, initially head and tail will be null. If initially head and tail is null, meaning is that the list is empty. The circular double linked list is empty, meaning is that there are no nodes in the circular double linked list. I hope you have understood the introduction. Now let me discuss how to implement the circular double linked list. Okay. Now let me write a user defined function called create. Okay. Now, once we need to create, first thing is that we need to declare a pointer. Then we need to create a node using the dynamic memory allocation concept using malloc or calloc function. Then we need to insert the values and we need to link it. Okay. So First thing is that I will declare a pointer of strut node type as new node. Okay. Then using malloc function, I will allocate the memory. So what is the syntax? You need to write the pointer name is equal to, you have to do the typecasting. Why you need to do the typecasting? The malloc function will return a void pointer, but this new node is a strut node pointer, so we are doing the typecasting. Okay, this kind of typecasting we will call it as explicit typecasting because the user is doing the typecasting. Then I have to give the malloc, and then how much size I need to specify. I will use the size of operator, and then I will write strut node. Okay, so how much size is required for the node, that will be specified by the size of operator, that much memory will be allocated. If memory has been successfully allocated, the base address will be assigned to the new node pointer. Due to some issues, memory has not been allocated, then malloc function will return the null value. Let's assume that the memory has been successfully allocated. We have enough memory in the main memory when we are running this program. So then malloc function can allocate the memory during the runtime, and the base address can be assigned to the new node. Okay. Now we need to ask the user to enter the data. So printf enter the value. Whatever the value you want to insert into the node, that value you need to write. Then once the user has entered the value, we need to read it with the help of scanf function. As we are entering a data, so I'm using the format specifier as %d, and where I want to store new node of data. Okay, is it clear? Then I need to write new node of previous is equal to new node of next is equal to null. Okay, are you able to understand? So we are creating a node. Okay, whatever the value, suppose let's take that user has entered the value 15. Okay, that 15 we are inserting at the data part, and previous and next we are making it as null. So for simplicity, I'm writing it as n, assume that it is null. So this is the way you have created a node. And this address, suppose let's take that this address is 400, that address is there in the new node pointer. Okay, is it clear? New node, I'm writing it as nn for shortcut. Okay, are you able to understand? So this pointer is pointing to this node. Okay, now we need to check whether linked list is empty or not. If linked list is empty, whatever the node we are inserting or whatever the node we are creating will be the first node and will be the last node. So how can I check whether the list is empty or not? I can write if condition, if head is equal to null, then meaning is that linked list is empty. If circular double linked list is empty, you are inserting one node, that will be the first node and the last node. So what you have to do is that you have to write head is equal to tail is equal to new node. Okay, are you able to understand? Let me erase this space. Okay, they erase the content so that I can use this space to do the needful. Okay, I hope you are enjoying the video. If you like the video, please press the like button and share the video with your friends. Before sharing it, please watch the complete video. Okay, so now let's take that the first node is there. Okay, you have inserted the value, let's take that 10, and it is in the address location 100. So now head and tail is equal to null. So head is equal to null. The condition is true. If the condition is true, what we have written? Head is equal to tail is equal to new node. If new node has been created from the base address 100, the new node pointer, let me write here, new node pointer will have the 100 that we are assigning to head and tail. So you have head with content 100, you have a tail with the content 100. Okay, then what you need to do? We need to make the circular double linked list. We have to enter the 100 in the first node. We have to enter the 100 in the last node. So what you have to do is that you have to write head is equal to null. So head is equal to null. The condition is true. If the condition is true, what we have written? Head is equal to tail is equal to new node. If new node has been created from the base address 100, the new node pointer will have the 100 that we are assigning to head and tail. So you have head with content 100, you have a tail with the content 100. Okay, then what you need to do? We need to make the circular double linked list. We have to enter the previous pointer value and next pointer value, because initially when we done, we made them as null and null. Let me write here null, null. Is it clear? When we have created the node, we have assigned the null value to it. So now we need to make it as a circular double linked list. So how can we make it? We will write the generalized syntax. Tail of next is equal to head of previous is equal to tail. Now look at what is these two statements will do. Tail of next, tail is 100, 100 of next is this one. This one is equal to head. What is there in the head? 100. So we are assigning here. Are you able to understand? Now head of previous, head is what? 100, 100 of previous means this location they are pointing, is equal to tail. What is the content is there in the tail? 100. So as it is a first node and a last node, this node is pointing to itself. Are you able to understand it or not? Because if you look at the circular double linked list, the first node previous will have the address of the last node, and last node next will have the address of the first node. As it is only one node is there, it is pointing to itself. Okay, I hope you have understood this concept. Let me close the if block. Now I want to talk about the else. If head is not equal to null, then what I should do? Okay, meaning is that head is not equal to null means there are some nodes in the circular double linked list. If it is so, how can I insert a node, or how can I add one more node? Okay, so else, if this condition is false, then it will come to the else block. Then let's assume that I have created another node. Someone has again called this create function. The new node pointer will be declared, and using a malloc function we will allocate the memory for the node. Okay, and user has entered the value. Let's assume that user has entered the value 20, and here new node of previous is equal to new node of next is equal to null. So here you have assigned the null value, here also you assign the null value. Okay, now head is not equal to null because head is 100, which is not equal to null, so it will come to the else block. Then what are the steps I have to do? Okay, meaning is that I want to insert this node here. Okay, already one node is there, now this node I want to attach. Then what are the things I need to do? First thing is that I need to write new node of previous is equal to tail. Look at here, what will happen? New node of previous, new node will be having what? Now not 100. Let's assume that this address will be 200. Here new node will have 200. So 200 of previous, this location they are talking, okay, which is equal to tail. That is what? What is tail is having 100, that we are assigning here. Okay. The meaning is that there is a link between this node to this node. Are you able to understand? This node is pointing to this node. Okay. Now what else you need to do? You need to write this one. Am I right or wrong? What is this one? Tail of next. Tail of next is equal to new node. Okay. So let me write here for you. Tail of next is equal to new node. What is new node consists of? 200 that you are writing here. Okay, so here you will get 200, then this link will be down and this node is pointing to this one. Is it clear? Is it done? No, not yet. This link we need to establish. This need to be has to be established, then tail has to come here. Okay, so are you able to understand? So what we have to do is that now I will bring the tail here. So what I can write, tail is equal to new node. What is new node consists of 200 that I am assigning to the tail. Now tail becomes 200. Are you able to understand? So the tail is pointing to this node. So next what I need to do, this is the last node now. If this is the last node, it should point to the first node. So how I can write? I can write it as tail of next is equal to head. Tail of next. Tail is 200. Of next means this location they are talking. They are assigning whatever the value is there in the head. So we are writing here 100. Are you able to understand it or not? Is it clear? So now this node is pointing to this node. Okay, are you able to understand it or not? Now look at here. Here what should be there? Here it should have the address of this node because this is the last node. So head of previous, the first node of previous should have the last node address. So you have to write, I hope it is visible for you. You can write head of previous is equal to tail. Okay, what is tail is consists of 200, so that we are assigning here. So now this link will be down and this link will be established. Now look at whether it is looking like a circular double linked list or not. This node is connected to this node and this node is connected to this node, and this one is having the last node address and this one is having the address of the first node. So we have created a circular double linked list with two nodes. Okay, let's complete the else block and close the function. Okay, now let's take that again someone has called or user has called inside the main function create function. Okay, is it clear? Then again the declaration will be done, then node will be allocated. Okay, the node will be created. Let's take that. Now what I will do is that to insert this node, I will write here. Already insertion is done, having data 20 and the address of the previous node here 100 and here it will be 100. So there is a link like this, there is a link like this, there is a link like this, and there is a link like this. Is it clear? Now we have allocated a new memory. Okay, so let's assume that user has entered the value 30 and this one we have assigned to the null and null. So now let's check whether our code is working or not. If head is equal to null, head is consists of 100, 100 is not equal to null. So if block condition is fail, if it is fail, it will come to the else block. Now look at what are the statements we need to execute in the else block. New node of previous, new node. Now new node, let's take that this address is 300. Now new node will consist of 300. Okay, now new node of previous, 300 of previous, this what they are telling is equal to tail. What is tail is consists of 200. Okay, so here you will get 200. Let me write here. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience, I hope you can understand. Okay, 30 because I want to connect this one. So new node of previous is equal to tail. So here 200 will come. So there is a link like this. Okay, then tail of next is equal to new node. Tail of next, tail is 200, 200 of next is this one, is equal to new node which is 300. So here you will get 300, then this link will be down. Okay, and there is a link like this. Okay, then tail is equal to new node. So here 300 will come. Okay, so now this pointer is pointing to this node. Tail of next is equal to head. Tail of next, what is this tail? Tail is 300. 300 of next is this one is equal to head 100. So this node will be connected to the first node. Then head of previous means head is 100. 100 of previous means this location is equal to tail. So it is having 300. So this link will be down and this link will be established. So this is the way we will create a circular double linked list. I hope you have understood. Now let me discuss how to display the elements or the data which is there in the circular double linked list. Okay, so let me erase this one and I will define a user defined function called display. Okay, what that function want to do is that it has to display all the elements which are there in the circular linked list. Okay, circular double linked list. So let me define a user defined function called display, and this function does not return anything. So that's why return type we have mentioned is void. Okay, so I need to declare a pointer called temp and I need to assign head value. Okay, so we are creating a new pointer and assigning the head value. So it is also having 100. So this pointer is also pointing to the first node because you want to display the data from first node to the last node. But however, you cannot change the address which is there in the head because always the head should be pointing to the first node. So that's why we are taking another pointer and assigning whatever the value in the head. So now using this temp, I will traverse and display the elements which are there in the each node. First thing is that while displaying, I need to check whether there are some nodes are there. If there are some nodes in the list, then only we can display the data. So to do that one, I will check the condition. If head is equal to null, then meaning is that list is empty. So I can write a statement as list is empty, or if you want to write, you can write it as circular double linked list is empty. Else, if this condition is fail, what I need to do? I need to write a loop while, okay, temp of next not equal to head. What is temp is initially consists of head. Okay, if this condition is true, what are the statements I want to do? First, I want to print the data. So print of %d \n, I am writing temp of data. Then I will write temp is equal to temp of next. Then again I will write another printf, temp of data. How it will work? Let me explain with this list. Okay, now temp is 100. Look at here, temp of next, 100 of next is 200, which is equal to what? Is equal to head. They are saying that is not equal to head. So we need to check whether it is equal to head or not. So we got temp of next is 200. 200 is not equal to 100. Yes, this condition is true. So if this condition is true, what are the statements which are there in the while loop which need to be executed? One is that print of %d temp of data. Temp of data means temp is having 100, 100 of data is 10. So 10 will be displayed and cursor will go to the new line because you have given the \n. Okay, then temp is equal to temp of next. Temp of next is 200 that you are assigning to the temp. Now temp is pointing to the second node. Okay, now again check temp of next, 200 of next is 300 is not equal to 100. Am I right? Head is 100, so it is not equal to 100. So this condition is true. If this condition is true, again these two statements will be executed. Print of %d temp of data, 200 of data will be 20. That 20 you are going to display and cursor will be pointing to the next line. Temp is equal to temp of next. Temp of next is 300 that you are assigning to the temp. Now temp will consist of 300. Now again you will check the condition. Now look at what is the condition. Temp of next is not equal to head. Temp is 300. 300 of next is 100. So now you are getting here 100. 100 not equal to 100. No. 100 is equal to 100. Am I right? So this condition is fail. If this condition is fail, it will come out from the while loop. So it will come here. Now look at here. How many elements are there? 3 elements are there, but till now we have displayed only 2 elements data, 10 and 20. So we need to display the 30 also. That's why we have written print of percentage d temp of data. Temp is 300, 300 of data is 30. The 30 will be displayed. Is it clear? So we will close the else block and we will close the function. So this is the way you will display the data which is there in the circular double linked list. I hope you have understood what is a circular double linked list and how to create the circular double linked list and how to display the data which is there in the circular double linked list. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. In the next video, I will discuss how can we insert a nodes in the circular double linked list at specified cases. One is that insert a node at the beginning, insert the node at the end, insert a node after a specified position. So if you want to learn about the insertion in the circular double linked list, I request you to watch the next video. Thank you for watching this complete video. Have a nice day.